All right, guys. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to work on the Barbie logo where it will say Barbie. I've got laundry going. I'm cooking dinner at the same time. So excuse any of the noises behind me. I hope you can hear me good. But the first thing I'm going to do is take my tape measure and I'm going to measure just this spot. This is where it's going to be. It's not going to be from here to there. Barbie's going to start here and go across here. So I'm going to measure from here to there. And that is 2 feet, let's see, 2 feet 6 inches or just under that. So we want to go exactly the middle here. And let's see, I'm going to lock this in so I know the middle. All right, and then I just kind of fold my tape measure so I know exactly where to put this. I'm not going to fold it completely. I just want to know what the middle is, the middle number. So that looks like it is right around the 3. So, wait a minute, the 3 on what though? Sorry guys. Looks like this thing was bent before. So it's after the 1 foot, the 3. So after 1 foot, we look at the 3 there. And I want to put 3, so it's going to be right there. Drop it down to here, just so I can see what I'm doing here. So the 3, so basically it's going to come up from here. So I'm just going to place a mark here, just so I know that that is where the R is going to go. So let's just make sure I'm measuring this good. So basically it's going to come up from here and basically be a little mark here. That's going to be where the B-A-R, the R is going to be. All right, so you want to measure to do that. All right, so I'm going to get on to the next step, which is going to be writing the letters in. So I'm just going to do a real quick just line of it. So let me test it out and I'll be back. Okay, this is just the example of Barbie. I did have to look online just to see how the letters go, so I couldn't show you guys that, but basically this is the outline. Don't worry, I know that R is done 2 different ways. I realized it had to be angled, but that's how I got it because I'm gonna go over very wide with paint, so I had to make sure I had enough space and that it would go up at that angle. So you see where it started and where it ended. So it does have some room here and it does have some room right there, you know, like where it ends there. So that's fine like that. And of course I'm going to go over just a little bit more with the Barbie when I do the paint, so it'll be over a little farther like that. But I just drew it freehand, and then of course I'm going to be painting it so it's wider letters. And as I do that, I'll kind of show you guys that step, because now I've got my start of the word Barbie. And don't worry, like I said, where I messed up there, because it's going to be so wide, it's going to cover that up. You won't even see that. So I'm going to get started, but I'll put this on the tripod so you guys can watch. All right, guys, so I've got the B-A-R. I just started to paint it just to make sure that I was going to be able to do this. Now, this isn't done. Don't worry. I just started the letters. When I'm putting on this paint here, it is just kind of leaving a line behind. You'll see as I go along, I'll show you it doing the B. It's kind of just very, very transparent, so it's going to need a little bit more paint, a little bit more coats, which is totally fine. But I'm just going to show you guys how I'm doing this, and I wanted to do a few first before I showed you guys. So I'll show you the B. I just put some paint into a little container here, and I'm using a wider brush. And basically what I'm doing is just starting where I'm going to put the letter, and I just go down like this, and you can see it's very transparent. But again, I'm not worried about it, because I'm going over it when I'm done. So, and it's going to be, you know, sealed and everything at the end, so don't worry about that. And I'm just following along where I made my lines. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect, you guys. It's going to be perfect when you use the black marker, when you outline it, because we are going to be outlining it. So basically, I just get it on like that. I'm going to have this line coming down a little bit farther. And then once I get it on, what I do is I just come back with the paint, and I'm making it a little bit wider, and I'm just tapping it on. And yes, it's leaving open spots, but again, I'm not worried, because as soon as it's dry, I'm going to go over it again. Of course, then it's going to take to it better. I think it's because this box is done with a shiny paint before I matted it. But of course I have to do this first before I matte, because that's the finish to seal the paint in. So then I'm just going like this. I don't know if, you guys have different paint that you're going to use, if you're going to use an actual better paint or whatnot when you do yours. But this one right here, I see that it's going to take like probably 2 times to fill this in. Imagine after this is dry, then I can fill it in, and then it'll be solid white. But yeah, I'm just filling it in like that. And then I can make it a little wider if I want to, because I want the letters, kind of wide, because it is the word Barbie on the box. If you look, it's pretty wide. I could have got these letters and printed them out. I don't have a printer, but I could have just went to the library and printed them out. I've seen people put letters on. So if you're afraid to do this, you can actually just print out the letters to Barbie and glue them on, tape them on, however you want to do it. I would suggest gluing it on if you do that. But I wanted to paint mine because I'm a painter. So I wanted to paint mine, and I'm going to be sealing it anyways at the end with a sealant. And of course I'm going around these letters with my wide marker. I showed you guys the marker that I got, the black permanent marker. I'm going to go around these letters with the black because that's how it's supposed to be outlined for Barbie. So I'm not too worried about the lines not being, perfect. Like over here on the B, if it's out a little bit, I'm not worried about that because I'm going to be tracing with the marker. So, and hopefully I'm not in your guys' way. Hopefully you are seeing this. But I'm just filling it in and, just getting it filled in and letting it dry. And then I'm going to go over and do another coat. And then it'll be smoother. It won't be bumpy like this, or not bumpy, but have these ridges that I'm doing or whatever, because I got to do that just to get enough paint in here. I got to kind of pat the paint on. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not sure, like I said, maybe you guys could use real paint to do it. Maybe that's what I should have done. I'm using a water-based acrylic paint because I'm going to seal them anyways. So I just wanted to work with acrylic. That's what I work with all the time doing my nails, and it always works out good. But of course I have to seal the nails, otherwise it would just wash right off, right? Well, this box isn't going to get wet, so I don't have to worry about that, but I still am going to seal these letters because I'm sure they're going to chip off. So eventually they're going to be chipping. So again, I'm just going to keep going along here and get it wide enough where I like it, coming around, fixing any areas that need to be fixed, just to widen it out, because you want this to be perfect. And it's going to be very perfect when I outline it with the black marker. That's what's going to really make it look more professional and everything. So, but yep, I've, know that people can do it with actual letters. Like, you could also buy the stickers. I'm sure they make the big stickers, or like the big letters that you put like on like fabric, like iron on. You could probably even glue those on. But again, I want mine all painted and sealed. Now I know you see this little line here, but again, when I go over with the black marker, that is going to help clear that off there. But that's what I'm doing here, you guys, just getting the Barbie on there. And I think it's going to be so good when it's done. We can go ahead and work on this eye here. I'm just going to go down the line here. And again, don't worry if you have a shaky hand. You don't have to worry, because again, we're going back over, we're going to fix it, and then we're going to paint it again, and then we're going to outline it with the black marker. So I'm going to finish this up. And once I get this done and I get that second coat on, I'll probably come in and show you guys doing the second coat, so you guys can see that, oh, it does fill in good. Because even I am, thinking, oh God, I hope this fills in. So, but of course it's going to. It's not going to not fill in. Of course it's going to. As you go along, the paint obviously gets thicker and everything. And then now I have paint underneath it. So now it's got something to, be, so it's going against a matte finish now, because this is drying matte. So now I have a matte to grab onto the paint more. But again, that's all I'm doing. And let's see, let's go down to the bottom here and work our way up to match this up. And again, don't worry about your lines. They don't have to be perfect, because that's what the marker's for. So, and I'm just gonna make sure this is good where I like the eye. All right, that's good. Okay, you guys, I'm going to keep going and finish up. We're going to do the E. I'm going to finish that up, and then I'm going to go over them. I'll probably come back in and show you guys going over the letters with the paint just so you can see. And it doesn't matter if the word is bumpy. That's not going to make a difference. Maybe it'll make it look even more raised and kind of cool looking. So I'm going to finish up, and I'll be back. Sorry, guys. I've got the fan on right next to me because I'm trying to dry the logo. There's the second coat, so it's getting better. I think it's going to need 3 coats. It's just the way the paint is. It's very transparent. I'm surprised because a lot of those white acrylic paints aren't, but I think because I'm making the letters so much bigger that it's going to need 3 coats. But isn't that looking phenomenal, you guys? Oh my God, I love it. All right, I'm going to work on the Mattel. I'm going to just color it with a permanent marker, a nice big fat one. I got these from Dollar Tree, you guys. Another thing from Dollar Tree was a 3-pack. So you would also have your black in there, so you wouldn't have to buy a separate black marker like I did. You'd have the black one right here because you want the black to go around the Barbie like that. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and color this. I'm not going to be able to do both because I don't have it set up. But you can just see that it's just going to color the whole thing red. That's what I'm going to do, and then we're going to put the Mattel on it. But it's got to be red because that's the color of it. All right, so I'm going to get this done, and then I'll go on to the next step and show you guys. So after I colored it with the marker, I just took the paint and I did draw Mattel, but I just went over it, you know, the painting. And I'll just show you, I just took a small brush like this. And you can see it doesn't matter, matted or shiny. This paint is just a really watery paint. So it's definitely going to need 2 coats. And then of course I'm going to outline this as well so it looks really, really nice. But I just went ahead and did it because I had to figure out how I was going to do it. But look at how cool that looks, you guys. Oh my gosh, so awesome. So yep, I'm going to do another coat after it's dry and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now I've got the Barbie part on and the Mattel. But of course I'm going to use a black marker now to go around it just to border it because it's going to make it look a lot better. But we're getting to the end of this box, you guys, and it's really turning out just absolutely adorable. So I'm just going to take, I just have it right here, the black marker here, just a wider one. I've got this one and I have one other one, but I got this from Dollar Tree. Most of my supplies are from Dollar Tree. That's what's amazing about this whole project. So, but I'm going to just do the wider one for the Barbie part. And then up there, I may need to use a smaller black marker, like maybe a thinner one to go around it. But I believe that this would work for the Mattel as well. But yeah, I love it, you guys. It's turning out great. Now, I just have the Mattel taped on. I did just tape it with duct tape and it's going to hold just fine for what I need. If I notice that it is coming apart, then I will glue it on. But I like it just having the tape on it because it raises off the box a little bit, which gives it that 3D look. And I really like that. And it did work when I did the spray on it of the clear matte finish, which is a sealant. Well, it works because it doesn't chip now. And when I was doing this before, oh my gosh, the box was chipping so bad, you guys. Like I barely even just touch it and it would chip. So you do need to finish it with a finish, you know, a matte or shiny coat, whichever one you're wanting. The reason I wanted it this way is being matte, you don't really see the tape then because it's a matte finish, so it's harder to see. And here, all you're seeing is just the cracks in the box, like how it bent, you know, when, of course, sitting outside in the wind blowing and all that. But yeah, it's just because of that. But the matte finish was better to hide and camouflage the tape. It does work a lot better. And yeah, I really like the box. My husband was saying it gives them kind of a velvet feel. So yeah, I think the same thing, a velvety feel. It's really, really awesome. So, all right, enough talking. Let's get the marker going. And then I'm going to show you guys the end product of this when I'm all done. Can't wait to show you guys. Now I'm going to give you the dimensions of this beautiful Barbie box that I did. And I believe at the end of the video, I do talk about that we are going to get a piece of wood, like a, one of those stakes you put in the ground. We're going to get one and I'm going to glue it to the back of this because you see this is the only thing that's a little bit flimsy. So we're going to get a piece of wood to go in the back. I'm going to glue it in. You won't see it because I'm going to glue it in. And then my husband is going to make me a box. We're going to go to Lowe's and talk to them, like a fiberglass box that it would have to, you know, it would just fit down inside, but the front would be all open. Okay, the front would be all open, but it'll have a piece going across the bottom and the top to hold it in, and then of course the side, so the box will just sit down inside of it. That way the box won't be so flimsy, because these boxes are. the way, I'm using it for my channel, I need this to not be flimsy. Somebody else, if you're just going to keep it at home up against a wall just for fun, for looks, for pictures, stuff like that, it would be okay. You wouldn't need a box. But for the reason I'm using it, sometimes I might travel with it, stuff like that, I need it to be strong. And then the opening will still be there. But anyways, I'm going to give you guys the dimensions. So across is, it is 3 feet 5, about 5.5 inches, I believe, right? Yeah, 5.5 inches. So 3 feet 5.5 inches across. This way is 1 foot 8.5 inches, and up and down, I'm going to do it this way for you guys. Sorry, it's not wanting to go in. Okay. And up and down is 5 feet, just over 11 inches. So almost 6 foot. It's 5 foot 11 inches, like 11 and a fourth, or like, it's pretty much, I would say 5 foot 11 inches. So, but see when I'm doing this, how it moves, and I've got my fan going there, so it's kind of blowing it. So definitely, you guys would need a piece of wood on the back. If it's just going to be, like I said, an inside project that you just leave inside and people to stand in it for photos and stuff. But the way I'm using it, I'm going to do it with the piece of wood there. Probably, yeah, just here. That's all I need it for there, and then we're going to build that fiberglass box. But the last video of the end of this, so you guys get to see the whole thing, will come up right after this. All right, now I'm reinforcing the box so that it's easier and sturdier when you carry it from inside to outside. Eventually, like I said, I'm going to be putting it into a fiberglass. My husband is going to build the box for me. Then I can travel with it. But right now, just taking it from inside to outside, it is flimsy, being cardboard. I mean, you could even get, like I said from the beginning, a refrigerator box. If someplace will give you one, the second you cut the front out like that to look through, then it becomes very flimsy. They just do. It's cardboard. What do you expect, right? So I'm reinforcing this right now. And what I'm doing is the sides, you see it there, and the ones going down. Now, some are up and some are down, up into the corner. Now, I know you're going to say, why didn't you get pieces of wood that would go from top to bottom? Why are you doing it bottom, just part way up, and top to the bottom? And the reason is because had I measured perfectly and got pieces of wood that would have been perfect to go in there, let's say it was off by just a hair, well then look, it wouldn't go up straight up to the top. Like I was able to reinforce that really strong, pushing it up against the wall, but it would have to have done the same thing at the bottom. So if it would have been off just a hair, because measuring it inside a box, you're not going to get the exact measurement. So let's say it was off, it wouldn't have worked at all because I've got it reinforced, pushing down there and then pushing up there, back and forth. You see how I did that? Well, if they would have been too big, what would have happened? Now it would have pushed the box out. It would have, been scratching the paint. Sure, I can repaint it and all that. Not a big deal, but it would have pushed the sides out. So I just figured instead of being too small or too big, no matter what, it would have ruined the box then because it wouldn't have been big enough to reinforce, like I'm saying, pushing down on the sides and pushing up on the back sides like that. It wouldn't have been enough. And had it been too big, then it would have pushed my box out. You get what I'm saying? The box wouldn't have been square then, or I should say rectangle. It wouldn't have been rectangle, it would have been pushing it out. So I had to do it this way. This is the way I would suggest it to you guys if you're trying to make a box that's just for fun for one day, then great, or just up against the wall for photos. But if you're gonna be bringing it in and out or, just a lot of stuff with it, moving it around, you need to reinforce it. So that's how I'm doing it, up and down. That's how I did it, up and down all the way, like that. And then at the very top, I did 2 boards there, and I'm gonna do 2 boards down here at the bottom. I've got one glued on already, and what these are signs that sticks that you would use for doing a garage sale, and I just went and got them at Lowe's. You can get them at Walmart, and you just gotta have them cut the point off, because they always come with the point on the end. So I had to have them cut the points off, and then of course cut these ones just in half is what they did, so that I could go up and down. Again, I would have measured it, had them just do it and just took a chance, but I was afraid it would have been too short, and then the whole thing would have been ruined. We would have had all that wood ruined, and they're $2.50 piece of wood. So that can, get spendy. Over at Walmart, they're $1.99, so you say 50 cents. But still, that's kind of expensive when I need this many of them. So I didn't want to take the chance of being too small or too big. Somehow that's what would have happened, because regardless, this is a box, so the measurements aren't probably exactly perfect. So one side would have been smaller or bigger than the other side, if you all get what I'm saying. So it was easier to just go up and down like that, so that you can really reinforce the bottoms then and the tops to push the side walls out, so that it, you know, not push it out, but I mean hold them so they don't blow. Then we're gonna do 2 right here. So I got some more here. We're gonna do 2 more at the bottom here, and then on the back of the box, not underneath. I don't wanna do it underneath because you guys see that when I'm filming, you see the back of the box. These can be hid. These you don't see because it's where Barbie is, and that's the top. You don't see those anyways. These you're not gonna see once they're pink. You don't really see them anyways because I'm standing in the box. And even if you did a little bit, that would be okay. But with the back of the box, you totally see that when I'm standing in there. So if you get what I'm saying, I need to do them now on the back. I'm going to do, how many do I got here? 4 of them. I'm gonna do 4 from top to bottom because this thing is almost 6 feet tall. But how I'm gonna do it now is I'm not gonna put one on like this and push down. I'm gonna turn this box over. I'm gonna lay one on the ground, put the glue across it, then set the box on top of it, then crawl inside the box and lean on it, because you do need to push these down. I do need to lean on them. That's what I'm doing, is leaning pretty hard on them, you know, like kind of pushing down, or kind of what's it called? Like my feet, I'm kind of pushing down with my feet or my hands, just really pushing down to glue it. I'm using the super glue gel. It, you know, dries pretty fast. It says like 10 seconds, but I'm holding it more for about a minute. And then of course I'm letting it dry overnight before I paint it, so none of the paint seeps down on the other side, but it does glue pretty fast. But you want the super glue gel. I got those from the Dollar Tree, so it's $1.25 for 3 of them. And I got like 6 packages or 8 packages just to make sure I have enough. I haven't went through all of them yet, but I know I'm going to use almost all of them. So, but yeah, just wanted to let you guys know why I'm doing this, just to make everything, you know, more sturdy and everything until I get the box that it's going to set down inside of. And then back here again, all 4, we'll do 1 at a time. Again, I'll lay the wood down on the floor. Then I will have my husband help me lift the box up, turn it over, you know, this side, turn it over, upside down, around, and set it on the wood, and then I'll just crawl inside the box and push down so it'll go on the back of the box here. But, you know, how could you do it this way? Because if I push down with that, see how flimsy it is? I can't do that. So I do have to flip it up over and do it. I will kind of just show you guys that. I'll do a little clip of that. But all right, let me get going. Let me finish this last one here. I'm going to put 2 of them just like I did at the top. I have 2 up there. I'm going to do 1 more down here. When I flip it over, I'll show you guys that part. All right, so the next step, we're gonna lay these boards down. I'm gonna do 1 at a time to go onto the back of this box. You don't wanna do them on the inside because I just think it would look terrible. On the inside, you would see them as I'm portraying Barbie, even though they'll be pink. I just think it would look really, really bad. So does my husband, he agrees with me. So the only way to do it is to lay one on the ground, 1 at a time, and then I'm gonna crawl inside the hole here, and you know, we're gonna lay this box down on top of it. This is the back of the box here. We're gonna lay it down on top of it, and then I'm going to hold it down, you know, just crawl inside the box and hold it down. And then, you know, for about 2 minutes, you want to hold about 2 minutes, then lift it back up, and then so on and so on. And then just put another board, you know, part way. I'm doing 4 of the boards are right there. So just give it enough room apart and make sure that this is a little ways away. See this right here, a little ways away from the box, so that it's midway on the box. You know what I mean? When you lay the box on top of it. Phelan will look at it with me though as we're doing it, and we'll make sure it's about mid, you know, in the middle. So, all right, let me get some glue on this and lay it down, and I'll show you guys again as it goes along. I'll let you know if it's working out, because that's the only way I can think to do it. Okay, so you saw we laid the wood down, and then we centered the box over the top of it. You can kind of tell it's right there and right there on each side. And then I decided to stand on it. It needed more weight than just pushing my hands down on it. And then I'm just kind of sliding my feet across like this so that it's going to be a much better bond. And, you know, just keep going like this, but don't do it too quickly. Use, you know, for about a good 2 minutes with your feet, and then slide them in and do the whole thing for about 2 minutes standing on it. Then it should be a good bond. Then lift it back up on its side, lay another board down, and so on and so on. You know, lay it back down and then stand on it again. You're going to need more weight, like I said, than the hands. It's a little bit different now with it going on the back side, because you need this to really tape good, or glue good, I'm sorry. All right, meet you guys back here in a moment. Okay, all 4 are glued very nicely now, and that did work out. I'm glad that I did it on the back, because like I said, you don't want these to show. Think about it. Even after these are sprayed, they're raised up because it's wood, and you wouldn't want that on the inside. You want the inside to be as open as possible where you see, you know, when I stand inside of it. But this definitely reinforced it more. I'm going to show you the other side now, because see, when you are standing looking at Barbie, you know, when you guys are watching me, obviously you see those boards there, but you're not seeing the back, you know what I mean? And it would have looked really bad. Now, yes, I've got some chipping in there when I was putting it on, but I'm going to spray over it tomorrow when I spray all this wood and everything. And then, of course, I got those ones inside there reinforcing the Barbie part. So all the spots that you're seeing on here that don't have any paint on it, I'm going to fix that tomorrow now. Again, this is a project, a process, you know, you learn as you go. I wanted my box to be more reinforced until I can put it in an encasing, because I mean, I'm using this for my channel. You know, I'm doing it to do my fashion videos, and you want it to be the best it can be. If you're just going to make a quick box, you know, for a little girl, or for just to stand inside your house, or a little girl's room where she could take photos and just have her own Barbie box to stand in for fun, you're not going to travel with it, fine. I'm actually, you know, I have to take mine in and out when I'm filming. I take it in and out, you know, outside for now on the sidewalk when I start off as the doll and, you know, turn into the human Barbie, and then go back into the mannequin again, back into the doll again. And doing all of that, you want this to be professional. You want it to look professional, you know, and you don't want this box. It was blowing over outside when you have windy days. It's still going to probably blow, but it's going to have more strength to it. But anyways, yeah, I want it to be better because I'm doing it for a fashion channel. So, of course, I need to have this much more professional. So you wouldn't have to do all this woodwork. But, hey, I would say do it if you're going to, you know, for a little girl to play with, just to have it a little bit more reinforced. But it doesn't have to be. And then, of course, I'm going to go all the way and reinforce this thing into a fiberglass or, what do you call it, plexiglass or fiberglass. Probably the most expensive way you can go. I'm not sure how expensive it is. Not the most expensive, but I'm just saying go with a fiberglass, so that it is very strong and protective, so this box doesn't get ruined. And then I can start traveling it out with me when I go out to do my videos. But there it is. There's all the wood on it. I will be spraying it tomorrow and then lacquering it. And, or I said lacquer, but the matte finish coat, you know, just so that it helps it with the chipping and stuff. Now, the chipping is happening more on where the tape is. I explained that in the video before. You can see it's happening more where the tape is. So I don't know why it's not holding as good there. And I did use some polish there just for my first video to fix it. And the polish is not the right color. So I'm going to spray it again, do the matte finish, the sealant. That's what I mean, the sealant. And then just hope, by the way, now I can move it back and forth. It's more stronger, that it's not going to chip that bad. But once I get it into the glass, the fiberglass box, it's not going to chip anymore on me. So again, just know that this box, I mean, it's cardboard, you guys. What do you expect out of cardboard? And it was a very cheap project. It was not expensive to make this. But of course, after I do the fiberglass and all of that, it'll make it a little bit more spendy. But, you know, you're going to get chipping. You're going to get that. That's why you just got to touch it up here and there with your paint and stuff like that. And then put the sealant on it. Now, if I would have known that it was going to chip on the tape, I would have thought of a different way of doing it. Maybe it's just that when you glue it together, you do need to use tape too. It's just, you know, not going to seal on there good without the tape. It has to be taped. Once you seal it with the glue, where I used the hot glue gun, you maybe could have used super glue. Maybe that would have been okay, but I do believe the tape had to be on. I did it on the front and the back. But like I said, that's the only place that are chipping. But I'm not too worried about it. It's still a beautiful box. And when I'm all done, at the end, spray it again, seal it again. And I'm much more careful with it now because, of course, it was chipping because of all the work I was doing. Putting all the wood in it and everything I was doing is what was making it chip on me. And then I'm going to get it into a beautiful fiberglass box. So I'll do one last video after I spray it. Actually, you guys will see me doing a little bit more spray. I'm going to show you when I spray the wood. And then I'll do my last outro of the video. But I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's been a lot of work, let me tell you. But I need this to be professional looking. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. So I got it outside here, and as you see, I've got most of them sprayed. Most of the pieces of wood I did. I just got the one right here. So I'll just real quick just kind of do a little clip of spraying it for you guys. I am just doing one coat, but just going over it, you know, kind of a thicker coat. That way I don't have to do it again. But make sure you get all the way up to the edge. But you see, as I'm doing it, it just camouflages it. See, it makes it way better. Of course, you're seeing it outside here, so it's got the shadow to it. Once it's inside, it's going to be a lot better. But you see, isn't that better when it's got the pink, you know, instead of the wood? Now it's going to make it more shadowed and, of course, more camouflaged. All right, I'm going to finish up here. That's just a quick little clip just showing you guys how you spray it. Obviously, people know how to do that, but just wanted to show you. Be back in a moment. Okay, everyone, I am all done with my life-size Barbie box, and I love the way it turned out. I'm going to get up close to it and show you guys, you know, where I put the wood in and how I sprayed the wood, and Matt finished the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you a view from far away as well. So let's get up close and just show you guys so you can see. But like my husband keeps saying, this box looks velvety. It does, the way the matte finish made it look like that. But there's the wood now to give it strength, and it's sprayed now. So now it's much better. You cannot tell that, you know, you cannot see it as much. It's definitely camouflage. When I stand inside the box now, you'll see those, but it just looks like it's part of the box now. You get it? It can't see the wood anymore. It looks like it's something that was made to be there. There's the inside of that wood. There's the wood up there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's part of it now. It doesn't look abnormal like it did when the wood was first showing. Now it looks like it's just supposed to be the way I did the box. Now I'm going to go over to the left side here and show you that. Just going to kind of go all the way around this box. There's the left side. And now we'll go to the back of it. Here's the back, and there's the wood there, like I was telling you how I was going to do the wood on the back. And it's, see how it's better on the back than if it was inside the box. Even though you can see the wood on the sides inside the box, you're not going to see that as much when I'm filming versus had these been inside the box. You know what I mean? It just looks so much better with them being on the back there for protection. One got a little bit off. It's a little bit crooked, but again, it's just for strength. Not going to even show when I'm doing the videos and all of that. But yeah, when you're doing that part, it's a little bit harder since I had to lay it down on the ground and try to see as my husband would lay the box down on top. You know what I mean? So one got a little crooked, but who cares? It's keeping the box, you know, definitely giving it more strength. Now I'm going to go to the right side and show you that side just so you can see all the sides. And my husband is just kind of holding this for me. I know he just got this tail end of his leg. He's holding it for me because it's blowing out here. But okay, now we're going to go back to the front. And now I'm just going to back up and show you again real quick. It's blowing, I know. I'm sorry, honey. Thank you for holding it. But there it is, you guys. Absolutely beautiful. And see how well you can see the wood now where I'm showing you? But it's not noticeable now. It looks like it goes with the box, which is awesome. And I love the way it looks. I'm so proud of my work on this. Love the way it turned out. You guys, if you want to build a box, well, here's your idea how to do it. I kind of went step by step, you know, teaching you guys. But again, I'm excited. I love that. I saw my husband peek out. I love that I did this, and I love that I'm going to be filming as Barbie every week, and I love this. Definitely, if you got a little kid, you can build her a box. Definitely build her a box. I grew up loving Barbie dolls, so I love portraying her. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Everybody take care. God bless, and I'll see each and every one of you in my very next upload.